dinner time for my dogs, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna feed them. So my dogs eat raw, and they also eat a little bit of cooked food. So here's what I have. I have a little quinoa, sweet potato, and salmon mix right here. So it's got some protein, it's got some fiber, it's got some carbs with the sweet potato, which make it also digestible, and it's got the added benefit of the salmon. And this is going to be part of their meal, and that's what's going to go in there. Another thing they're also going to get is they're going to get a piece of liver, so that's going to go in there. I'm also going to put some beef fat, a little bit of meat and fat in it. I'm gonna put a couple of chicken heads. A little bit of deer meat. This is actual fresh deer meat. It's really, really cool. Now I'm gonna tell you a couple of other things that I add to my dog's food to keep them nice and healthy and in optimal performance. So this is one thing I do. I do a little scoop of diatomaceous earth. Now this is food grade diatomaceous earth. I know a lot of you probably never heard of this. Diatomaceous earth is natural. There are no chemicals in it. And what it does is it has silica, but it gets rid of parasites in a nice natural way. Because it is so fine, it's fine for them to digest, but if they have parasites, it cuts the parasites up. It does it without chemicals. And it's amazing. I've dewormed dogs just with diatomaceous earth, and the results have been amazing with it. Now, I'm not a veterinarian, so check with your vet. I'm just telling you what works for me. The quinoa mix had some salmon in it. So for this particular meal, I don't have to add fish oil, but I'll add, when they don't have the salmon, I'll add like a little fish oil capsule in it. Now another thing that I add to my dog's food is NuVet Plus. This is a nice all-encompassing supplement. I'll give you a little bit of an idea of what's in it. It's got vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C. It's got phosphorus, potassium, zinc, calcium, selenium. Some of the ingredients are bluegrass algae, brewer's yeast, cat's claw, which is not an actual cat's claw. It's the bark of a tree in South America. Evening primrose oil, oyster shells, alpha amylase, beta carotene, pine bark, alfalfa, chicken liver, B1. There's a bunch of other good stuff in it. Now this company has been in business for 20 years and they've never had a recall. All human grade. This is an awesome product. I've been giving it to my dogs. Some of my clients have also been using it on their dogs with amazing results. So if you want to know how to get this, check the comments in the video, check the information somewhere on the screen, and check the description in the video as well. But yeah, awesome product. So I'll put one capsule of that in their meal. So at quick glance, we got some beef liver, we've got a couple of chicken heads, we got a little bit of beef fat with a little bit of flesh, we got some deer meat, we got a little capsule of fish oil, we got the supplements, and we got this little quinoa, sweet potato, and salmon mix also in it. Now also, I add a little bit of frozen vegetables, so I'll go back and forth between spinach. Sometimes I'll use other vegetables like okra or kale. So I just change it up. And they're not always eating the same thing. Sometimes I'll give them chicken feet. Sometimes they'll get duck. Sometimes they get turkey feet. And organs will vary. Sometimes they'll get heart. Sometimes they'll get kidney. Sometimes they'll get lung. It's just a bunch of different stuff that I'll mix and match. One thing I wanted to add here is that because the dogs are eating raw, so they're eating chicken heads, sometimes they're eating chicken feet, and a lot of this stuff is stored in the freezer. They end up being frozen pieces of raw food. So because of that, I want to make sure that I always watch them eat. I don't leave them unattended. I don't just give them their food and walk away. And the reason is some dogs get so excited about their meal, they get so pumped about eating that they can choke. They'll start inhaling their food. And that's just one of those safety things that I want to be aware of. Now, it doesn't happen. I know my dogs, all of them are very thorough when they eat. Sometimes they get excited and they eat a lot faster. But I have had a couple of occasions where one of my dogs would just get so pumped about eating that he would just start inhaling it, and then now have to slow him down so that he doesn't choke. So it's very crucial that you pay attention to that. If you're switching to raw, that's something you want to pay attention to. Now, if you don't do raw, if you do just cooked, that's fine too. Cooked is a little bit easier because it's generally softer. You don't have to worry so much about the choking hazards with cooked food. Cooked food is a good option as well. Just have to make sure that it's very well balanced and they have all the supplements on there. Again, I recommend that you try those new vet supplements. If you do cooked, even if you do raw, there are supplements that you just have to include in their diet. There are things that they just don't get with the raw or the cooked. If you do kibble, I strongly recommend that you also do the supplement. Nothing wrong with kibble. A lot of people can't afford kibble. I know for the longest time it was the thing that made the most sense for me for my budget. So I did kibble for a very long time. I'm able to switch to raw for all my dogs now, and this works for us. But whatever you do the best that you can do. It'll extend their livelihood and also improve their quality of life. And generally speaking, the fresher the food, the better. If you're enjoying this video, please do me a favor, share it with somebody else that you think might find it helpful. Hit the like button, give me a comment, and let me know what your experience is with feeding your dogs.